Well, good evening. Got a couple more people coming in. New venue for us this year, and I don't know, my first feelings are this is really an incredible place and really a nice atmosphere to really celebrate one of my favorite events of the Y each year. Well, welcome. Welcome to the Hockomock Area YMCA's annual meeting. It's fantastic to see everyone, and that we have such a wonderful turnout on such an important evening in Boston. It's great to have so many people here. I appreciate your commitment to the Y. I'm Jeff Dufficy, and I proudly serve as chair of our Y's Volunteer Board of Directors. We are thrilled to be at the Showcase Live and what we believe to be a fantastic venue for our celebration. As I said earlier, the annual meeting is one of my favorite events, and we have a great evening to share with you before the Bruins win tonight. Go Bruins, right? Most of the time, our Y events are about what we are doing and not about what we have done. Our annual meeting gives us the occasion to recognize accomplishments and the remarkable people and organizations who partner with our Y to improve the quality of life in our community. We will begin with a brief business meeting before our annual awards, which will highlight stories of our Y's impact. And of course, we've really got a great venue here, and I look forward for the opportunity for all of us to gather at the reception immediately following the meeting and enjoy great food and strengthen our fellowship. Throughout the year, there's 230 youth who participate in our Y's theater program in Mansfield, and they performed 3 musicals in 2013. So, to kick things off in theatrical style, please join me in welcoming the cast from their current musical, 13.
Beside me and you wanna be friends, you should know I'm depending on you. So you gotta hang in there till the whole story ends, 'cause we all have a little more homework to do. Looking in the back of the book for the answers, hoping the
Thank you. That was awesome, huh? Way to go. Before we open our business meeting tonight, I'd like to call upon an inspirational member and pioneer of our Y family to provide an opening thought for this year's annual meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a legendary YMCA leader for more than 40 years and last year's Chairman Award recipient, Garner LeStage.
Jeff and Ed, I think I ought to tell you that it's a little bit dangerous sometimes trying to turn a session like this over to the historians, if you will. You know, people my age, we have so many memories we tend to ramble on, and before you know it, we've forgotten what we just said. But if you'll bear with me for just a minute, I want to tell you about my experience with the Y in, what, 90 seconds? Is that what you want? I first joined the board of directors of the YMCA 45 years ago. Wow. At that point, the Hockomock Y did not even exist. It was the North Attleboro YMCA. And most of the rest of the board of directors were older than I were, and they were pretty influential people, and they decided they had to get into the surrounding towns of Mansfield, Foxborough, Rentham, Franklin, so forth, and find out who swung the big hammers in those towns. And they did a nice job of it. They found some wonderful leadership. One of the things we did was we hired some professional fundraising help. A wonderful gentleman named Ray Reese. And he had a phrase to describe the YMCA that has always stuck with me. He used to call it the Angel Factory. Now think about that. When I joined the board, the Angel Factory was a really kind of terrible old building in downtown North Attleboro. It was not built as a YMCA, it was the GAR Hall, Grand Army of the Republic, if you will, and the building dated back into the 1800s. The basketball players used to complain because when they went to dribble the basketball, the ball didn't come back up here, it kind of shot off there or there or there, somewhere else. We had water in the cellar several times during the year that actually had current in it. You could stand down there, and it was as high as the benches in front of the lockers, and it used to come in over there, and you could watch it. It would go right through the building and out over there. But the leadership back then did a pretty bold thing. They tore the building down. The board of directors of the YMCA tore down the YMCA, which is a pretty smart move because it demonstrated a pretty great need. The communities got together and really supported it. During all those years, I've seen acts of courageous leadership, acts of generosity that would really make you wonder. And, you know, people just giving away lots and lots of money. We recently had the Reach Out for Youth breakfast, and we have 480 people there, Ed, I think. Think of that. You got a room full of 480 people who want to give you money. How cool is that? You know, it's just wonderful. But it shows that, you know, what the leadership of the Y was doing back in those days was recognizing community need, and they answered it. One of my older fellow board members here, Steve Clapp, reminded me earlier that it was a good thing that we had a lot of the business leaders in town on the board of directors because the Y owed them all money. You know, we had the oil delivery. God bless W.H. Riley in North Attleboro. You should all buy your oil from them. You know, they knew they weren't going to get paid, you know, when the truck was bringing the oil up the hill, and they knew that because we hadn't paid them for the last delivery. But they kept bringing the oil, and finally we got to the point where the strong professional leadership put our finances in order, and we now have 3 just first-class angel factories: Franklin, Foxborough, North Attleboro, and the little division in Mansfield. And we have stability, which is just so gratifying. We had times when, well, I guess I'd have to say that I quit sleeping through the night back in those days, because there was plenty to worry about, plenty to think about. But anyway, we have one of the more successful angel factories in well, think about it, in all of New England. I think the Hockomock Y is the 6th largest YMCA in New England. You know, there are only 5 larger than the Hockomock Y, so the whole thing's been very gratifying for me. But you know, from day one, the whole spirit of the Y has been what's had a hold of me. We had all those wonderful professional YMCA people conducting all those wonderful YMCA programs for all those wonderful YMCA members and making them feel wonderful about themselves. So today's meeting is just another continuation of a good long story of feeling wonderful. So thank you all for being here, and continue to have fun.
Thank you so much, Garner. You continue to inspire us through your powerful legacy of volunteer service and leadership. And if it wasn't for folks like you 40 years ago, the Y today would not be where it is today. And I always find the hardest blocks to put in a foundation are the first couple. So thank you again, Garner. At this time, I'd like to open the annual meeting, the 2013 annual business meeting. I'd like to call that to order. Here to present the 2013 financial report is Paul Lanahan, Chairman of our YMCA Finance Committee and Treasurer of our Board of Directors.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks very much, Jeff. Good evening, everyone. Once again, it is my pleasure to present the 2013 financial statements of the Hockomock Area YMCA. I am pleased to report to you that our YMCA is fiscally sound. Please turn to page 11 of the annual report. These numbers will also be displayed on the video screens to my left and right. This page highlights the financial statement for 2013 and 2012, which is an excerpt from the 2013 audited financial statements. The financial statements were audited by the CPA firm of Kahn, Litwin, Renza, and a clean, unmodified opinion, the best that you can get, dated February 4th, 2014, was given on the financial statements. The audit was fully reviewed by our Finance Committee and also presented to the Board of Directors at the February 19th, 2014 meeting. Total income for the Hockomock Area YMCA was $16,299,624 in 2013, up only slightly, 1/10% over the prior year's number. Total expenses were roughly flat. They increased to $16,420,911 for the total for 2013, compared to $16,372,417 in 2012. Depreciation, which is significant for YMCA because of our substantial investment in fixed assets, all of our branches and locations, in 2013 it totaled $1.5 million, so it's quite significant. We did incur a net loss after depreciation, and it increased slightly from $91,998 in 2012 to $121,287 in 2013. Please note, however, that in 2013, without depreciation and amortization expense, which many of you know are non-cash expenses, the YMCA did have a surplus of $1,425,154. At year end, The association reported total cash and investments of $6.7 million, up slightly from the prior year. We closed 2013 with a total of 29,541 members at the Hockomock Area YMCA. Now I'm going to shift on and talk a little bit about the 2013 Reach Out for Youth and Families campaign. That campaign collected $547,178. Additionally, $27,000 of earnings from a Rofi endowed gift were also added to that amount to meet some of the support that we provided in 2013. And I know that our 2014 campaign, under the leadership of Brian Early and Mike Patch, has a goal of $750,000, and I know we'll be experiencing a record-breaking year under their leadership. And it's a big increase over the prior year, as you can see. In total, including special events, our YMCA will raise $1 million in 2014 to support those needs. As you do know, our YMCA programs are open to all, regardless of the ability to pay. So I am pleased to announce that in 2013, our YMCA awarded a record $785,597 in confidential scholarship assistance, almost $1.8 million in confidential scholarship or program subsidies. This represented an 18.3% increase over 2012. So the need for our confidential scholarship assistance and program subsidies continues each year. These are highlighted in the graphs on page 11 of the annual report and is also on the screen on either side of me. Again, they reinforce the importance of a successful annual campaign, which will allow us to fulfill our mission to ensure that our YMCA continues to be there for those in need in our local communities. I would be happy to answer any questions you might have about last year's operating results. I do not see any questions, so I will continue. I'd like to provide a brief update on the YMCA's endowment fund. The Hockomock Area YMCA's endowment fund had a market value of $269,606 at December 31, 2013. And it returned over 17% in 2013 from our investment performance. We recorded $51,477 in new gifts to the endowment during the year, but spent $57,000 to comply with certain restricted endowments that have been given in previous years. But overall, that's a good year. We'd like to continue to grow that. And under the leadership of Bill Napolitano and Tom Gruppione, the Financial Development and Endowment Committees should continue to expand the endowment by seeking additional contributions to the endowment fund. The Heritage Club, which many of you may be members of, now has 70 members. Those folks have either made outright endowment gifts to our YMCA or those who have made provisions for gifts to our YMCA in their estate plans. Tom and Bill will continue to focus again on growing this endowment fund and the Heritage Club with additional gifts and new members in 2014. I would now like to welcome a motion to accept the 2013 finance report. A second? All in favor? Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul, for your continued volunteer leadership to our YMCA. In addition to his role as treasurer of the board, Paul is past board chair and also served as chair of our Reach Out for Youth and Families campaign in both 2011 and 2012. Thank you for the foundation you helped to establish for this important community-wide annual campaign, Paul. And thanks to Mike Patch and Brian Early, who are following in your footsteps and co-chairing this year's Reach Out for Youth and Families campaign for the second year in a row. Our board development report. Please join me in welcoming Brian Early, Vice Chair of our Board of Directors and the Chair of our Board Development Committee, to present our Board Development Committee report, a copy which is included at your seats.
Jeff. Good evening, everyone. As Jeff mentioned, there is a report on the recommendations of the Board Development Committee at each of your seats. And at this time, the Board Development Committee submits the following recommendations to the meeting and the Board of Directors for approval. The election of the following to the Board of Incorporators for a 3-year term ending with the 2016 annual meeting. Mike Antolini, Bruce Auerbach, John Eva, Barbara Gonzalez, Dennis Leahy, Cindy Peterson, Jennifer Rowe, Tina Scarper, Dan Wazlewski, and Nan Wodars. We'd also ask for consideration and approval of the re-election of the following to the Board of Incorporators for a 3-year term ending with the 2016 annual meeting. Joe Andruzzi, John Barone, Sheila Burgess, Linda Sakala, Walter Sakala, Timothy Farmer, Brian Gilbert, John Garavage, Paul Hubrish, Dan Kennedy, Josh Kraft, Jeffrey Marsden, Christopher Martis, Marjorie Mitlin, Roxanne Richard, Don Rodman, and F. Thomas Westcott. I would now ask for a motion to accept the proposed slate of new incorporators. A second? All in favor? Thank you. Jeff?
I would like to welcome all new and renewing members of the Board of Incorporators and ask those in attendance to please stand. Congratulations. So right now we're going to go through a little bit of board governance and procedural history, so you'll have to follow as we kind of move through some of these steps here. At this point, we will adjourn the annual meeting and ask for a motion to call to order a brief meeting of the Board of Incorporators. Second? Those in favor? Thank you. Brian?
All very legal stuff here, huh? So at this time, as the meeting of the Board of Incorporators, we'll ask for approval for the election of the following to the Board of Directors for a 3-year term ending with the 2016 annual meeting. Faith Weiner. We'll also look for the re-election of the following to the Board of Directors for a 3-year term ending with the 2016 annual meeting. Stephen Clapp, Brian Early, Thomas Grupioni, Darlene Gannett, Rick LaCroix, Gerard LaRusso, James Newbury, and Timothy O'Neill. At this time, I'd ask for a motion to accept the recommendations of the Board Development Committee. Second? All those in favor? Thank you and welcome aboard, all new Board of Directors. Jeffrey?
Again, I really want to thank the new and renewing members of the Board of Incorporators and Board of Directors. Congratulations. We love having you on our volunteer team. At this point, I would like to make a motion to now adjourn the meeting of the Board of Incorporators and reconvene the annual meeting. Second? Those in favor? Thank you. We are now at our annual meeting. Before we begin our awards presentation, I want to take a few moments to celebrate some powerful moments from the past year. I continue to be impressed, as I know all of you are, with the incredible impact our Y has every day. In fact, I believe the Y, the Hockomock Y, to be the fabric of our communities. An impact made possible by our partnerships with so many of you, volunteers, corporations, and organizations throughout and outside of our area that help our mission happen. I want to share some photos that reflect, to me, our commitment to the impacting our communities and our journey together this past year. And I'm looking forward to the next 12 months as we continue the great work this organization does every single day. In fact, last week I had the opportunity to attend the staff retreat, and it's truly an honor to represent the Y team and what they do every single day in making our communities better, and the mantle that they carry as far as being the people in our community who are leaders and think about leadership every single day and making people's lives better. And I'm excited about the opportunities for our Y to continue to expand our impact in the areas of healthy living, social responsibility, and youth development. And now,